Weather Channel. No place on Earth has better weather.
All right, let's take a look at the tropics. Things certainly have picked up. It's getting a little busy, both the Pacific, eastern Pacific, where a new tropical storm has formed, and also in the Atlantic. We have Hurricane Bill as of 5 p.m., 40.6 north, 57.0 west, roughly 470 miles south-southwest of Cape Race. That's in Newfoundland. Sustained winds, maximum sustained winds at 75 miles per hour, so it's a minimal hurricane in terms of the wind speed. And the forward motion northeast at 33 miles per hour. You can see the estimated pressure, 987 millibars. We had a ship report late this morning. Oh, it was about, actually about 8 or 9 o'clock. The ship passing about 72, 73 miles maybe south of where the center of circulation was at that time, and the ship was indicating winds, gust winds about 40 to 45 miles per hour. The radius of hurricane force winds did not extend very far out from the center, about 25 miles or so, and then the tropical storm force winds out about 145. Getting a little dark in the, or over the Atlantic, so the illumination is going on us, but a big cluster of cloud cover, the showers, the thunderstorms. There was, for a brief period of time, an eye that was quite visible on the satellite imagery today, but didn't last very long, and now the system continues to push off to the northeast. As we look to the southwest, a little interesting now, because we have an area of low pressure over the ocean surface. There's been, at least it appears to be, some attempt by this system to wrap a few showers and thunderstorms in a circular manner down in the low layers, while upstairs, the infrared satellite imagery shows you that fanning out of the clouds aloft, which would indicate some somewhat favorable.
The Weather Channel. No place on Earth has better weather.
And it's time now to take a check on the tropics. Let's look at the latest now with Hurricane Bill. It is a hurricane as of around 11 a.m. this morning. Centered now at 40.6 north and 57.0 west. That was as of 5 o'clock Atlantic Standard Time, but it's moving quickly to the northeast at 33 miles per hour. 470 miles to the southwest of Cape Race, that's Newfoundland, and sustained winds of 75 miles per hour. This is real important. It's a minimal hurricane, but it's running into some colder waters, so we think that this is going to be dissipating rather quickly. The central pressure, 987 millibars. There's a look at it from a satellite perspective, and it's not the most impressive hurricane to look at this point. Earlier on, an eye could be seen with this on the satellite picture, but again, this has been moving over some colder water, and it continues to weaken, and certainly no threat to the lower 48, and really wasn't much of a threat to Bermuda. It did bring some wind gusts up and over 30 miles per hour last night, but didn't see any sustained winds of that magnitude, so some good news there. What we are concerned about is what's happening east of North Carolina. This is another disturbance. Now, this is not a depression or anything like that yet, but it's something that we're going to keep our eyes on, because the potential is there for this to perhaps develop into something a little bit more, and that will certainly be worth our while to kind of check on that. What's happening here is we have a lot of warm water. First of all, the surface water temperatures in the mid-80s out in this portion of the Atlantic. And this is on the western fringes of an upper level high pressure. When we have high pressure in the upper levels of the atmosphere in the tropics, that's favorable for development. And you can see some of the upper level outflow from this.
Has better weather.
Good evening, and thanks for joining us here at the Weather Channel. You're just in time for the tropical update, and we have some changes. Some things have happened here. Remember Hurricane Bill? No more. It is now extratropical. The Hurricane Center has issued the last advisory on it. Winds are still up there, about 70 miles an hour, which brings it below hurricane strength. So it is something we still need to be concerned about as far as shipping interest, but as far as it hitting land anytime soon, we don't have to worry about that, that's for sure. But it has really lost its tropical characteristics and is extratropical and moving quickly off to the northeast. Now let's talk about something a little bit closer to home. This area here is being monitored for the possibility of something developing here, tropical in nature. It was a low off of an old surface boundary, and it was more cold core in nature the last 2 days ago. Now it's becoming more warm core in nature, which means all the way through the storm or through the system, it's becoming warm. It becomes warmer instead of colder, as you would see on a typical system you'd see coming across the plains or something. So because of that, and because we have ridging aloft, and we can tell that by looking at the way the clouds, the high clouds, the wider clouds, are moving this way. So we have an exhaust here. We're able to exit the mass from the storm. And at the surface, we have water temperatures which are conducive, 80 degrees or higher. So we have to be concerned here. Most of the convection, though, is off to the east of the circulation center, and the pressure is still pretty high, but it's something we need to be concerned with. It's about 300 miles off the coast. It's nearly stationary, which is another factor which may help it to maybe develop into something tropical. We'll let you know. Just make sure you tune in with us, and we'll keep you updated. If we hear anything from the Hurricane Center, we'll definitely keep you posted. Otherwise, fairly quiet across